Having the original coaches back is amazing, actually. I think that between CeeLo and Christina's little break and Blake and I being around the whole time, we needed each other because we have this camaraderie. Because the show was basically launched with these four people sitting in the chairs. The original chemistry of the coaches can't ever be replaced. It can be different, but it can't ever be the same. But the nice thing is that now that they're back, they have the fresh perspective of having been gone, and we kind of need the change because we've been doing it the longest. Blake and I have been, throughout this entire process, we've been doing every season. So it's nice, and there's a camaraderie amongst the four of us that's really special, but also kind of reinvigorated by the fact that they've been gone, and it makes us happy to see them again, and it's stronger than it's ever been. So I'm really happy. I mean, we're all really happy. I mean, you're going to see when you see the show, it's notably lighter and even more fun than it's ever been. Well, when you have four different people, you're going to have four different personalities that are interacting in different ways. And I think that with CeeLo and Christina, Blake and myself, the biggest thing is CeeLo is inappropriate, and he makes you laugh and says things that in your ear that make you hysterical. Christina kind of just doesn't let us all get away with anything, which is great, because we do need to get the smackdown sometimes. The reason why we actually did it is because of the integrity of the show. I mean, I wouldn't want to be part of some lame, corny, stupid show, and it's nice that The Voice was something that we could gravitate towards guilt-free, because it was this really cool concept that we really thought, that we believed in, and then, as it started to develop and we started understanding more about the show, we fell in love with it, and so we're just really lucky that it wound up being something awesome. Listen, man, I think people should be kind to each other, period. I think that anyone that's not kind, is a horrible person. And I understand people have their bad days and people, lash out and say mean things to people, but I don't understand why it's okay in the context of television to make someone feel badly about themselves. I'm not sure why people get off on seeing that happen. I'm not sure why people that are doing it feel like they're allowed to and that they're empowered somehow or entitled to make someone feel badly about themselves. I mean, I think that that's just a terrible, disgusting way to be. And so this show, and I know Christina feels that way, I know CeeLo feels that way, I know Blake feels that way, so that's not like an angle or a perspective that we wanted to have for the show. That's like, be a human and be awesome and don't be stupid and insecure and need to tear somebody down to make yourself feel better about your own mediocrity. Just be a human, and if someone's a bad singer, tell them things that they can maybe possibly use, give them tools to improve upon, and if they don't improve, they don't improve. But don't hold yourself above anybody. That's not what this show's ever been about. And by the way, that's not what we're about as people, and anyone who is, I don't want to be part of that. And I would never, I don't care how much money you offer any of us, personally, I would never be involved with any show that perpetuated that being okay. We got those trophies made for himself, and he spent his own money on that. I would just like that to be noted constantly, that those were not given to him, those were not official awards. I've won The Voice, I've never received a trophy. I'm not bitter about it, but I'm certainly not going to pay to have them made. He uses them as, he wants shiny objects to attract people to his team. And he'll even go as far as to have things manufactured. So yeah, that's not how I roll on my team. I have a much more kind of genuine, very convincing and persuasive pitch. There was more talent this year, I think, than any other season. And what's cool about that is that I actually believe that maybe this is me being too idealistic, but maybe it has something to do with the fact that the positivity of the show and the talent on the show, and seeing people like Danielle Bradbury win The Voice, a 16-year-old girl never performed in her life. Like, all the things that are happening are making kids, or any adults alike, kind of realize maybe something about themselves and saying, maybe I can sing. And hopefully that is definitely the super fuzzy, furry, sugar-coated way to look at it, but talent comes out of the woodwork.